we've done more than 5,000 websites actually.
15,000 naira.
Yes, of course. This is like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. So we do your website, then you too can send bulk SMS. People will not even know you are under my own bulk SMS platform. And then you can sell SMS to people, to companies. It was a big business. By 2015, we were a household name. Multinationals were our clients. Political parties were our clients. I mean, 2015 was our breakthrough year. And that was the year we then expanded into real estate. And the rest, as they say, is history. But people hate to hear you started with 1,000 naira, but your truth is your truth, right? So I'm not a politician that you say maybe I want to contest the election.
Dr. Stephen Novak, so rain won't fall.
It's,
That's what they do for Nigeria. I don't know what concern rain with light.
it's
Like
okay.
the thunder self, don't they make noise? So don't worry, just for a moment or two. We live in Lekki, so our light is 24
Stable.
hours.
Okay.
It's just Nigeria happened to us all. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question.
But I
Yeah, go
wonder
ahead.
sometimes why people feel have issues with people sharing their story. You know, it's just it tells me how I call it social media witchcraft. I'm not contesting election, you know. Assuming I'm contesting election and then I'm saying I'm the guy without shoe, you can say, okay, maybe he's saying this is my truth, and you can't be arguing, you can't know me more than me.
More than myself.
And you can't be arguing with my story. You were not with me when it started. So what's the whole, cho that you can't show walking? And I think sometimes because people just get to mirror themselves with you, right? Because it kind of make them feel like they too should have been where you are. But our journeys are different. What I went through, you didn't go through. I used to paste poster from Songota to Ikeja long. Literally on this bulk SMS, so buy bulk SMS, for 75 kobo. That's how I used to, do in those days. So one has paid one's price and you are sharing your story and somebody just feel he has issues with it. And, but it's well, my story is my story. It's your business if you don't like it.
So, Dr. Stephen, let's talk about the topic today is why businesses fail.
Yeah.
What would you pinpoint as the reason why most businesses in not just in Nigeria, globally? I was reading somewhere a very sad story about a young man whose wife was giving birth, and then the doctors asked for 500 naira, 500,000, and the man lost his wife because the doctors, because he couldn't pay 500,000, and someone sent it to me and said, "Oh, Nigeria is a failure," blah 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 blah. You see, when you live in Nigeria, I can relate to both sides. My father is a doctor. We used to have a clinic in the house, and if they bring somebody who they took knife, I don't want because of social media, or they shoot GUN, my father will not treat you without a police report, because tomorrow they will flip the script and say, my partner they treat arm robber, when they go rob, finish, come back, now my papa be their patron doctor. And we've seen situations like that flip. There was a story of my friend was traveling to Lagos, saw an accident. The accident just happened. There was this very beautiful girl. She was gasping, she was going. So just quickly carried her and started rushing her to the hospital. They brought her to the hospital. The hospital said, Laila, this wasn't my dad's hospital, to some other hospital. They said, Laila, they're not going to treat her unless unless they can bring a police report. They drove down to the police station. The police said, hey, so there are peculiarities in Nigeria, and people abroad will just sit down and say, oh, Nigeria is bad, and put everything under a bracket. But in the same vein, I also have somebody in the UK who lost their lives. They had cancer, but the hospital did not give them the necessary access to tests that they would have needed. And they kept saying, no, take medicine for cough, until it had reached stage 4. She was my childhood friend's wife. That's how he lost his wife. And his wife was a doctor in the UK. So every place has their peculiarities. Now, someone said the pregnancy related. I grew up in a hospital. We used to have like 30 fridge. Why? Person come born, they not get money to pay, they give you fridge. She did this where they inside generator. My papa they piss am. I want us to, you see, because we always see things from one perspective. Say my papa they vomit the engine oil where they inside the generator. We had 30 television. One of my cousins came to visit us one day. I said, this your house be like where did they sell Tokumbo? I said, Papa, I bow. Person born finish no fee pay. You go bring washing machine. Say now wait till you get this. How? Okay, my papa will collect the washing machine. Okay, go and look for money. 2 years later, the washing machine in the house. At a point, we started selling Tokumbo. Now,
I can't imagine.
This is my father's personal business. The government did not give him 1 naira to run the business. The government did not give him any tax rebates. Yeah. My father put signboard one day. Government came and brought down his signboard that he did not pay the tax for the signboard. Yeah. Now, how is you now call this person they buy, this person they buy, this person? I went from the empathy of save a life to it get the way you go save life, your own life go follow go. True. I saw my dad turn back people. I said, sorry, I can't treat you, take her too. And for various reasons. Yeah. For instance, somebody get typhoid, they bring them come. Doctor write bill. The person, wait for you. I'm a lawyer, say later, we will go and do traditional medicine. Then they will now take the person and go and give. Then 2 weeks later, the person don't log out or he don't get kidney failure. They don't bring her back. What do you want to make my papa do? My papa will tell you, say, no, he cannot help you here. Oh, yeah. They're now saying you are rejecting somebody and you are rejecting to help. Have you ever walked in the shoes of a doctor before? I know it is, yes, you have to save lives first, but ask doctors. So which money is he going to use to buy diesel? He has staff. Is he going to owe them? If he owes them salary now, you will be the first one to run online and say, that hospital, they know they pay salary, they owe 3 months. So this person comes in with, my wife they buy. The next person comes in with, they took me knife. The next one comes in from accident. And he treats all of them for free. How is it? Are the staff working for free? So these are some peculiarities you see in Nigeria. And I told this expanse of stories just so I can hear from your perspective as a successful entrepreneur in Nigeria. Presumably, because I don't know how easy it is to be successful in this part of the world. Even those people that we see that are successful, they are still struggling with one thing or the other. So, Dr. Stephen, would you have done it again? And if you had the chance, when you made money, because now money you take entire real estate, when you made money from bulk SMS, in retrospect, will you have jackpot abroad and started the business there? Or you have done the same thing you did again, knowing what you know today? My first question.
You've asked like 2 questions in a way. One is why our business is failing. The other is if I would have, done the business in Nigeria the way it started. So I will say my case was different. I didn't have a choice, right? So when I graduated, I printed 100 CV. I had a cover letter that says, do not pay me salary until I prove myself for 6 months. And the first place I took the CV to, the man said there's no table and chair. The second place, they just corrected my CV and walked away. The third place, they told me there's no job in Nigeria. that the businesses I had started on campus, I should just continue, which was why I had to continue the bulk SMS business, right? So I didn't have a choice. By the 2015, when we even started real estate, it was opportunity that a man had 250 acres, and I'd, where most people still don't know my background, that through the bulk SMS, we started email marketing, we started social media marketing. Some top bloggers, in Nigeria today, my company built their website, the initial website they were using. Right, so we have started. I'm a UK trained digital marketer, so I understand how to use social media, paid adverts, and all of that. So in one of those training, I was training business owners how to use the internet to sell. And 10 years ago, internet was still relatively new for most entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So one of the participants said, I have 250 acres. I've been struggling to sell. That's why I came for your training. I'll give you 50 acres. As you sell, pay me. You know. That's really how I started development in real estate. Prior to that, of course, I was marketing, as like you sell, they give you commission. But the real development started through that. Only to go to the land in Ikorodu, and it was water. We couldn't even get to where my own land starts from. We were using tree to point at where that will soon some field, and then we'll soon some field, and one day people will be able to see where our land start from. That's how I started. But because I knew how to use the internet, we started gradually, and we thank God for where it is today. So I didn't have a choice to japa and see what will happen. But let's be honest, a lot of those who have japa, I just finished meeting with our volunteers here in Montreal for the Saturday event I have. And the same question I'm asking them: you japa to Montreal. This is a better environment. How come you've not started a business? And how come the business has not even scaled to a multi-million dollar corporation? And the reason is simply because the the barrier of entry in developed world is higher. The profit margin is lower because the developed world. Barrier of entry in Africa is lower, right?
Mm.
The profit margin is way higher. Of course, the risk is also higher. You can do everything right in Nigerian business and still fail. Everything right, like everything. We go through the whole process correct, and you will still fail on top, right?
Mm.
And that is Nigeria for you. I made a comment the other day, and I remember saying to somebody, I said, I think it was Natasha flying a helicopter to where she
Mm.
was to
Mm.
receive her people. I said, even a poor man cannot succeed in politics, because it doesn't matter whether you believe her story or you believe her Pabio. But the woman has been suspended. She's trying to fight for her senateship and all of that. But even at that, imagine, how much it costs to get a chopper, right?
Mm. About
To
35K from my
to fly in
experience.
the middle of nowhere and then land. And then, so even to mobilize those people, whether they were organic, members or not, you have canopies there. You needed to have DJ. You needed to have sound system. All of that comes with a cost, right? And
Mm.
so for me, my argument is that you can do everything right and things will still fail. And that is
Mm.
how Nigeria works. And I always argue, I say to people, it is extremely, extremely difficult to do business in Africa. Much more easier in America because Americans understand the risk level of entrepreneurship. Americans in UK, they understand how business works. Nigeria, nobody understands. So the case you were mentioning, your father, now somebody expects you to come for your father to treat him and not collect money and collect it
Mm.
later. You can be owed and later. We do land business, for example. You see people come and, not tell you, I'm not paying for documents. I'm not paying for development levy. You are scammers. You are scammers. You are fraudster. Oga, how will I do fence of an estate? How will I do road of an estate if you don't pay? So we have a training coming up, and I could see somebody say, you want to help people learn how to do their business. You are charging 250K. Can you imagine? What the person didn't know is that event planner bill was 100 million for this event we are doing for one location. Venue bill was 20 something million. So I don't understand, how do you then expect the business to even work? How? Right? So I tell people, when it comes to business, and this is where many entrepreneurs fail. I'll give you one of the major reasons businesses fail in Africa: poor pricing. A lot of people are not able to price their product right, because you have situations where you see people coming in and say, well, if I charge the right price, nobody will patronize me, right? Nobody will do business. So most business become Ponzi scheme. Unknowingly, the founder, that wasn't the intention the founder had. That wasn't the goal of the founder. But eventually became a Ponzi scheme because he couldn't even charge the right price for what services he was offering. Because he's thinking, if I charge the right price, nobody will buy from me. Nobody will do business from me. And ultimately, he has good intentions, right? Too good intention. At the end of the day, he run into debt, he run into failure, he's not able to pay salary, and everybody will still come together and say, well, he has not been paying salary. But they don't even understand what was going on. Like in the case you were mentioning of your dad, at the end of the day, oh, he has not paid salary for three months now. Okay, he's a bad entrepreneur. So I always say this, that I think when we get to heaven, all Nigerian entrepreneurs should have a direct access to heaven, because you must have gone through hell on earth, right? If you do business in Nigeria, look at our $10 story of losing $1 billion in one day. That is Nigeria for you. And the same way you can make $1 billion in one day, right? So this is how I think number one reasons why businesses fail: we don't price well. We don't, we don't structure the business well. All factors begin to attack you, and at the end of the day, you struggle. And I think is a time for revolution, business revolution in Africa. This is the time we need to start teaching, how does business work? What are principles of business? What is the right of customers? What is the right of the entrepreneur, right? It's only in Nigeria that you see somebody come to a shop and be harassing the staff. In America, you will not do that, because they will sue your life even though you're a customer. In fact, you will see in many developed parts of the world, they will write, we have the right to admit you as a customer, right? We have the rights. In other words, if you misbehave, we can call the police and throw you out. So Nigeria doesn't have all that balance, structure, right? Somebody can come here now and just do name calling, right? No response, no, there is no consequences for that. You do that in developed world, you can easily be dealt with by the court of law, right? So these are some of the reasons why we struggle and businesses fail in Nigeria. There's so much more, but I'll allow you to ask more questions.
A gentleman called Scott Iguma has been online calling out real estate entrepreneurs, and saying that the prices in Lekki are too high. Why are they selling a house for 700 million? Why are they selling houses in dollars and all that? And the latest person he called out was Sujimoto, who, according to his call out, Sujimoto is owing his staff salary. Let's talk about the real estate business in Nigeria. Let's talk about the atmosphere. Is he right? Is Scott Iguma right for saying that real estate in Nigeria is overpriced? Let's start with that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, first of all, we need to understand that because I understand how social media work, everybody needs to have a path to their own business model. So the gentleman you are talking about is he's into real estate, in case you don't know. He sells, is a property agent as well. And the angle he's gone now has gotten more people attracted to him. And one way or the other, I'm sure he's created a new market for himself. Maybe low-end investors will be willing to talk to him, do business with him. You have to find, Nigeria is complex. So you have to figure out a way around how you go about your business. So I won't blame the guy and how he's calling everybody out, because he too, the guy, they hustle. And he will, I'm sure, help his own business, because more people will reach out to him to try and get affordable property from the guy. Now, to the general real estate sector, as to is real estate expensive in Nigeria or not? Generally, what dictates real estate is always a function of demand and supply. It's not a function of beauty. So, if go to California, the Palisade that just burnt, they were showing a picture. Grant Cardone was showing a picture of a place in Palisade, right? You need to see that place, and they said it is $30 million. It doesn't make sense. If you go to places like Los Angeles, you go to all these, particularly California, a lot of where all these Nollywood people live, it does not make sense, right? At all, right? But it's the demand. Everybody wants to live where Johnny Depp is living, where Sylvester Stallone is living, where this person is living. So real estate is always a function of demand. Now, it's believed that the current the housing deficit in Nigeria is over 20 million. And you need to understand what that means. 20 million is huge. That's huge. So if 20 million people, and majority of this deficit is in Lagos. So, because of this huge deficit, I mean, as long as people are willing to pay, you always find landlords who will keep increasing the price point. So what is driving the prices of property, particularly in Lagos, is population growth. Some data says 50,000 new people relocate to Lagos every day. Every day that it frees. Every day. Right? Every day. So based on this data, you are realizing that, and Washington Post did a research that shows that Lagos will soon be the largest city in the world by the year 2100, with over 80 million population. So population of Lagos in the next 20 to 30 years supposed to grow to another 40 million. You won't believe it. So demand keeps going high every day. And people want to live in Lekki like that, the freeze. Some want to take it higher to live in VI. Some even want to take it higher to live in Banana Island, so that them and Adenuga can be neighbors, right? So, all these begin to influence property prices. As to those who run real estate business, and whether somebody is struggling, I wish Nigeria understands how business work. So I'll give you an example, Daddy Freeze. We had a property, this is just 2022. The bill of quantity to finish this property, bill of quantity, 4-bedroom, was 35 million naira, right? As at the time they prepared the document, 2022. Within the same 2022, it rose to 45 million. It rose to 55 million. Right? Okay. Now, as of 2023, with, to 2024, is already almost 100 million for that same 5-bedroom. So, now, and this is to no fault of you and I. Now, some people probably have even started paying. You see my point now. That money, small, right? Maybe I'll be, okay, I deposit 10 million for that 5-bedroom. I'll be paying every month, I'll be 1 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you go back to that person that freeze and say, sorry, you need to pay a little bit more because inflation, cement used to be 2,800 that time. It has increased to 10,000. Iron rod,
Ah,
sand, and then you're explaining, and the person, no, you're a scammer, And the easiest language in Nigeria is scammer, 419. We don't even Google to even understand what that means. For you to be a scammer, you must have had the intention to defraud to start with. If it was a case of situation, the highest is called breach of contract. Take the person to court. Maybe the court will fine the person or ask the person to pay back or whatever. But he's not a scammer, right? So Nigeria is that kind of, because of that's what we call it, high risk. Anything could have happened. So for somebody who is building luxury homes, right? Luxury housing, for the, in the case of Sujimoto, and I'm not speaking for him because I don't work for him. You're building luxury homes. All of these things are imported. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is practically imported and all of that. You can't guarantee that things can go wrong at time. We're all entrepreneurs, we're all in this business. And we know it doesn't always work easy. But like I said, we're in the day of social media. Everybody wants to gain
mm,
2 minutes fame. Everybody needs to have a strategy. If I come after Stephen Akintayo, I will blow now, just because more people will get to know. And you can teach more about this kind of strategy. Banality.
ah,
So if anybody go after anybody who is already big, it could be, people will at least pay attention, whether they believe them or not. So
mm,
we're in that era. So that's all
mm,
I can say about the industry. But it's a tough business and it's a challenge. I'll give you an example. You've been to our estate in Ibejuleki, Beryl Estate,
yes.
right? I'm not sure if you have gone there recently. Do you know the coastal road took 5 acres from that place? The
Ah,
the fence, all that interlocking we did, all that gatehouse, everything is gone now. We've lost
ah.
over 500 million on that project. Now, so and then somebody will come somewhere and then be doing cho 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 cho
But
cho 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 cho
where,
cho.
but did the government compensate you? Is there any plan they have to
That
compensate you?
compensate how? That they freeze. How? They don't do it. They don't. All those things are just stories to compensate. They won't compensate you. You just have to move on, suck in the losses and move on.
Ha.
And these are what entrepreneurs face in Nigeria. And you would think that you would think this thing only happened to smaller entrepreneurs. You will be shocked. Dangote was still saying it in Ogun State, right? Ogun
Mm.
State, how, believe it or not, a whole governor demolished a factory he was to build in the state. He said he went there the second time, right, to start work again. The governor demolished it. Now, let's even say he didn't get permits. Let's assume, just for common sense sake, at the level of Dangote, couldn't you? In developed world, you call the guy for a meeting and say, guy, you are building this factory, you've not gotten permits. This is the procedure, right? Aliko, let's work on it, right? And you won't believe it. That project is the new governor now, according to Dangote. Again, that's according to, and we need to always allegedly or as
Allegedly,
said,
yes.
is the new governor now that's brought him back. And this is I heard a multi-billion-dollar project that the man wants to do in Ogun State. I'm from Ogun State. So you can imagine how sensitive that story was to me. But that's what entrepreneurs go through in Nigeria. Any regulator can wake up and come after you. We had one of our accounts frozen for 1 year, Daddy Freeze. 1 year.
Why?
One
What
year,
happened?
our main account, right? Our
So how
main
do they
account.
expect you to pay salaries?
Those are the things people don't know that goes on to entrepreneurs. A police, in fact, we didn't even know what the case was. We just heard that a police commissioner swear an affidavit that a particular money was paid to our account and blah, 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 blah. And by the time we investigated, there was nothing like that. 1 naira did not enter our account. So somebody somewhere had bribed the police officer to go and swear affidavit in court and create a case. Right? Thank God we had a good lawyer, you know, and we won the case, of course. But I'm just giving you an example of what people face every day. And, you know, so running business in Nigeria, you must have thick skin. But good news is better than being poor. All right?
All right.
It's better.
I want us to talk about, I've been seeing your videos, posters, and all over the place, billboards, especially in Abuja. What is this business growth conference?
Well, so I mean, I haven't done business for over 22 years, right? And we're all in this frustration of why is Nigeria like this? Why is nothing working in Nigeria? That the freeze. Why is Nigeria? You know, we don't have roads. We have high unemployment. Things are not working. And I've come to a point at this point where I realize that Nigeria needs an industrial revolution, right? We need to really at this point begin to break down what is a business. How does business work? Right? What can we do to grow a business? What should an entrepreneur expect? When I started business, a lot of what I eventually faced, nobody told me that it freeze. Nobody said to me, as you go bigger, people will just want to enjoy coming after you because you are now big. We practice something called crap mentality in Africa. So if you I've shared this story many times. If this were to be a keg, right? You put one crab inside. In 1 minute, the crab will crawl out. But if you put 4 crab inside these buckets, right? As one crab is climbing up, the other will pull the crab down. We call it the crab mentality, and we do more of that in Africa, right? So I have had to ask my Indian friends. I've had to ask my Jewish friends. I've had to ask my Chinese friends. I said to them, why are your businesses growing? You guys will come to UK, and before you know it, Jewish businesses are growing, Chinese businesses are growing, Indian businesses are growing. You had a prime minister from India recently, right? You also had Pakistani. The mayor in London is Pakistani. What is going on? Okay, and I had to ask, and you know what they said to me, that the freeze. They said, because we have made up our mind that no matter what happens in our community, we'll continue to do business with the people of our community. And we can fight internally, right? But we will not pull down the name of another Indian business, of another Jewish business. If we have issues, we will decide to call ourselves and say, we will not do business with this particular Indian, or we will not do business with this particular Jewish guy. But we will still look for another Jewish guy to still do business with. Okay? You know, and I see that is one of the major reasons why our businesses are not working, right? I have had to say to a lot of people I do business with, can you improve? Can you do something better? Can you adjust this? Because I don't want to take your business to somebody else. I don't want to take the business to somebody else. So I have decided to say, we must start teaching entrepreneurship. We must start telling people how to run businesses. Okay? How to build good businesses, how to stay authentic, how to stay committed, how to stay loyal, how to have integrity in business, right? Because what we must understand is that you can't scale your business without integrity. We will not be in 4 continents today if not that we've done business with integrity, right? We will not
Hmm.
have grown to where we are today if we don't have integrity. So we must, and we must begin to call out. A lot of people want to continue to practice crap mentality in our community, right? Pull down this one, pull down that one. And so for me, I'm not planning to do it, go into politics, but how can we, change Nigeria? I want to ask you a question, Daddy Freeze. Imagine we have 1 million businesses that do a turnover of 1 billion naira.
Hmm.
Average business that does a turnover of 1 billion naira, directly or indirectly, employ 50 people,
Hmm.
right? Multiply 50, right, by 1 million. That is 50 million jobs we can create. 50 million jobs
Absolutely.
we can create. And that is really how we can end unemployment, right? So
Hmm.
all this, we do on social media, where we're not really investing in creating jobs, in building businesses. Everybody wants to either become politicians or everybody wants to join the job of, just calling everybody out on social media, with facts or no facts. We have tiling business people need to go into. We have painting business. We have electricians that are needed. We have a lot of businesses that are not even, what you have degree for. But ladies and gentlemen, these are powerful businesses that people can become multi-millionaire in, multi-billionaires in. And the conference, by the grace of God, will begin to open people's eyes to opportunities and how to do business and how to grow business and how to do it integrity. And that's what we are working towards. And I look forward to it. It's going to be the biggest growth conference in the history of Nigeria. And it's going to be amazing because it will help more people to come into business. It will show people the challenges businesses face and how they should prepare themselves for those challenges. Look at what is going on with Elon Musk,
Hmm.
right? People
Hmm.
are going to
Our
burn down
USA
his
vice president.
people are going to literally protest in front of his shop, want to burn down his offices. So we need to also train entrepreneurs to know that it's a tough thing to be an entrepreneur. You must prepare, you must have tough skin, you must be ready to face the challenges that is come, but ultimately, nothing beats entrepreneurship, right? Because at the end of the day, people can do cho 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 cho, but when we see each other, we know who is the boss.
Hmm. Word, word, word. Um, you talk a lot about business mentorship. Why is that important? And what is your take on it?
Uh, Beautiful. I think that if you look at some of the secrets to success in business, I mean, look at someone like Dr. Cosmos Maduka, who did the Igbo apprenticeship model, right? And
Hmm.
this man never went to school, right? Never went to school and has built a multi-billion corporation today, multi-billion dollar corporation. And this helps us to understand how entrepreneurship is the real secret to growing business, right? To scaling business. But if you don't have mentors, you won't even know what to expect, right?
Hmm.
I was dealing with one of my mentees. She has taken loan, struggling to pay salary of employees. The banks are always coming to harass her every day. I had to tell her, I said, get a lawyer. You need to restructure this loan, okay?
Hmm.
And then let's work on your marketing. Let's get your business to be out there. And you'll be shocked that we have more than double. I think she's been on your show before, the lady into immigration. Um,
Oh.
you know, and right now she's double her income compared to what it was before she
Before.
came for my mentorship, right? And
Hmm.
she's working on keep increasing it. And that's what I say to people: mentors give you audacity to succeed. When we wanted to start our $200 million project in US, I had to go to Dr. Cosmos because I was really scared. It's the biggest expansion in the history of our business. It was scary. I didn't go to him for money, but I wanted to, hear from him what he thinks. And he told me, he said, go ahead, do whatever it takes, make it work. You know,
Hmm.
make it work. This is the right move. And of course, he even traveled all the way from Nigeria, came last August, taught some of what we were doing as well, and all of that. So with mentors, you have audacity to succeed. You have the boldness to move forward. They encourage you to say, keep at it, don't give up, because everything we want to discourage you, everything,
Hmm.
right? From lies to people carrying your name up and down to gossips to things that can be substantiated. I was having a meeting on Sunday with a gentleman, and he approached me, say, Dr. Stephen, there's this person, I need you to look into the person's story. And he said he paid you 50,000 in Dubai for a house, and you didn't give him the house.
Hmm.
I said, did he showed you any evidence that he wired $50,000 to our account in Dubai? And the person said no, but he said you were the one that mentioned the company he did business with. I said, I don't understand. Daddy Freeze.
Ah.
Okay, because I introduced a company for you to do business with, and you pay to the company, right?
Hmm.
Now you are carrying my name as the one you paid $50,000. Did you pay to my account? Is there any evidence?
Wow.
I kid you not. This guy went as far. Is the story I'm telling you that he got a commissioner to sue Avidavito that he paid money to her account. He couldn't prove it in court. Right?
Ah.
He literally the sponsor blogger, sponsor. There's nothing I have not seen because of doing business. And I just said, why not just you paid to Dubai, go to the company you paid to, get a lawyer, sue the company you paid to, right? But again, like I said, when I was done with this gentleman, I said, I'm sorry, sir. Dr. Stephen, I'm sorry. I believe what this man was saying. He was crying. He told me he already had mental health. It's true, I did not even ask him evidence, but I already believe what the guy was saying. Okay, I didn't believe what the guy was saying. Okay, without any evidence that showed that a company owned by me was paid to.
Ah.
So we are. This is. But again, when you have mentors, they will encourage you in those kind of situations and say, "Look, wait till you don't face." I remember Dr. Cos was saying to me, "Said Stephen, are you prepared? This is your expansion in US. Are you prepared for FBI?" I said, "FBI how?" He said 1985, FBI came after me. He said, this was what I did, and I won the case. He said, so prepare. That's the power of mentorship. Now, if he didn't tell me that, God forbid you have an issue with FBI, you will say it's the witches from your village. Meanwhile, as you do
Yes.
business to a level, okay,
Hmm.
there are certain things, like in those cases, FBI eventually begged him and said it was just a routine, the volume of money that came into his account, they needed him to prove it. But in 85, there was no social media. You see, the challenge of this generation is social media.
Hmm.
Because if there were to be social media, you will be reading,
Ah,
you,
Dr. Stephen.
you'll be reading something that happened in 85 that wasn't even true. Right? That even
That's
FBI
like what
eventually.
happened allegedly to Lanre Shitu Motors. There was
Okay.
a propaganda, a news story back then that he was involved with some things. But then at the end of the day, when they cleared him, they didn't come and make the same.
They won't make.
So,
Nobody will make the story. We love bad news, right? We love bad news as a people. We love to kill people's reputation, and that's why for me, I'm torn sometimes with this, issue of cyberbullying, whether you take people to court or you don't take people to court, because sometimes our people also go to the excess, right? And we just don't even understand our rights. You can't just come and call people names. You
Hmm.
have committed a crime. I'll give you a story. We had this transaction in Dubai, I think about 5 transactions. And there was this gentleman, he worked with this real estate developer, and he was like the account manager. And, I've called his name, people knew him with me. And now here was $1 million transaction. We couldn't, 2 years gone, no property. Now, I
Hmm.
thought he was like in Nigeria. So I did a disclaimer, you know,
Ah.
with his picture. And by the way, I did not call him Nemo. I did not call him scammer. I did not call him a thief. I only just said the person whose picture appear here. We do in Nigeria. I
Yes,
no
he's no
longer
longer
have
working with us.
working with us. We don't have anything to do with him. Daddy Freeze, I was entering Dubai that day. At immigration, they just told me that, you have a police case to answer. If you enter, you won't be able to come out until you finish your police case. I said, I don't understand. You know, So I remember I had to, should I enter, should I not enter Dubai? So I called, I called my friends. I said, what's going on? They said, well, maybe are you owing somebody money? I said, I'm not owing anybody. They said, those are the cases, because I didn't even know what was going on. That's how I entered. So I went to this particular police station, and then they pull up this disclaimer I did. I said, did your company do this? I said, yeah, our company did it. The guy did it. I mentioned what happened. They said, but you are aware the transaction is civil, but the picture you did now is criminal in UAE. I said, wait, I don't, I
So
don't
what you
understand.
do you now civil? What
Uh,
you do am now criminal?
yes, even though
Ha!
it's up to $1 million. Yes, this was $1 million transaction, right? They said, look, this is civil. They said, go to court, get a lawyer, charge him to court. Said, but this that you use his picture without his authorization, you have committed a criminal crime in UAE. That the
Ah.
freeze, I couldn't leave Dubai for 6 months on this matter where they tell you. 6 months I could not leave Dubai. 6 months. I had to get lawyers. I had to, yeah. And
Ha!
I did not even say he stole. I did not call him scammer. I did not even say money was lost. I only said we no longer, because I have over 3 million followers across social media. I have promoted this guy. I've told people to do business directly with him.
Hmm. Hmm.
You get my point now. Somebody say he get criminal case, I don't get criminal case. You see now don't start. Nigerians with uh, Obasanjo, So according to them, I had to go to court and prove to them that what I've done is not criminal. Of course, the advantage what saved me was I did not call him a scammer. I did not call him a thief. I only
Ah.
said I no longer do. That's what saved me, right? But,
Hmm.
but assuming I had used certain words, truly, it will have, and then of course, it doesn't attract a jail term. It's still a fine by UAE law, but at least it will have been a criminal conviction.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Ah. We learn every day. Oh.
Nigerians had to understand this, that the freeze, that there are certain things we should be careful about, right? If you have transaction with someone, go to court, right? So that you don't in turn, because some of these issues that the freeze is when you then look as if, oh, Nigeria, they use power against him. In reality, the person has broken the law, right? Yes, we empathize with you. Like anybody will empathize with me about that transaction. I mean, I lost money, and then no fee leave Dubai for 6 months. Okay.
Ah.
So
Bad
but
market.
a bad market. But the law is the law. So,
Mm,
and for those of us who do business international, and that's why we're careful. You have no idea how many people I have sued over owing me money or scamming me, but you not see me post it on social media, right?
mm,
Because I now understand, international law, and that if you really understand the law, there's a thin line between just trying to fight for your rights on a civil matter
mm,
because you did business with someone and it went bad, and committing a criminal offense. There's a thin line.
mm. Omo, we learn every day, oh, Dr. Stephen. We learn every day.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we
Let's talk
do.
about this your um, conference coming up. Who are the keynote speakers? Who should people look forward to hearing from?
Well, if you look forward to hearing from me, actually, we have a lot of great speakers, but for the first time, I don't even want to mention the name of our
Hmm,
speakers. If you notice the flyer, I think it's a week to the event. We'll post some of
hmm,
the speakers. If you see the billboards as well, we're not even posting names of speakers, and I'll tell you why. I realized that over time, um, people need to come because they believe in your messaging, because they want to learn from you. Whoever is your speaker should just be a bonus, right? And I said,
hmm,
I was shocked that they added this particular speaker. I'm impressed that they brought this other person. So we have speakers, and they're all billionaires in Naira, very successful people. But I'm not even mentioning them. When people come, I'm the main keynote speaker. It's my event. You want to come and learn? I'll be sharing a lot. I've been through a lot in business,
hmm,
but I'm
hmm,
standing. And and one of the key things I want to share is the need to have integrity so that you can stand, because a lot of us also, the reason why we can't stand is because we also have skeleton in our cupboard.
hmm.
One of the things that has helped me in the course of doing business is clear conscience. There's nothing I do in business I cannot explain in a press conference. There's nothing that happens in our business I can't come on social media and share. Nothing. Nothing.
Hmm.
There's no secret anywhere. Okay? There's no story anywhere. So you
Ha!
can't beat me to you
Hey,
can't,
Dr.
and that's why.
Stephen, this thing they fear me.
You said?
I said this thing they fear me.
Ah. There's nothing. I don't get secret anyway. We will discuss it. There's nothing I can't explain.
Hmm.
And it's helped. And I
It's not,
encourage
it's
it.
because of the way people, I don't like to say why people don't have sense, but sometimes I'm tempted to say it.
But you know that the phrase, the people they can bully. So here's my quote, and I want everybody to type it. Nigeria is a country of bullies for the bully by the bully. The bigger bully wins, right? And some of
Hmm.
us, maybe
Whoa,
let me repeat it again.
please do, Dr. Stephen.
Nigeria
I even write
is
them
a
down, sir.
country of bullies,
Hmm.
okay? By bullies, for bullies. And only the bigger bully wins, okay? Now, I did a post about Natasha, and I said, again, whether, you know, the story of sexual harassment was real or not, I don't want to comment on that. But she could bully the big boys in politics. You know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
And the thing, he sweets some of us who are not politicians. You know what I'm talking, that we were just excited that you and I may not be able to bully them like that. But at least somebody showed them pepper. Okay?
Ah,
And
yesterday was even the hottest.
that's
They go
my
block
point.
road. They say she don't
Oh,
go hold
yeah, exactly.
conference. The
Come,
next thing we just see helicopter inside the sky.
come with a chopper. So
Ah,
the
our people
advantage
deal.
with the advantage with me is that we let we learned digital marketing. I'm a UK trade digital marketer. We learned this social media thing when it was just at the infant. Or we pioneer blogging. You can't beat me to all this cho here and there, right? You can't, because you will talk your own um, lack of evidence. I will come with my own receipts, right? And I get them. Okay, and we'll see who will win. But I think sometimes, because not everybody is as exposed when it comes to digital marketing, social media like I am, so people are always scared, right? Oh, if somebody go call my name, if somebody go does this, if somebody, and so
I know
people
what
will
make them
think,
call my
I
name.
don't want me to call my name. I don't want me somebody come shout scammer. I mean, some guys who are, who've been commenting, all they think they can do is to bully me. Unfortunately, you are talking to the wrong guy. Wrong guy. They have no idea. A few of them who come to my page, I think the only person who has better savage reply than me is you, because I don't like to use curse words, right? But 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 if you see my savage replies,
As in,
heavy,
one girl came
but
to
without
insult me
curse
one
words.
day. One girl came to insult me one day. Said I'll be albino. As in, she looked me from head to toe. Now I begin to analyze and one by first her teeth. Now I first start with. You know what they call agbado erun. Oh, I show you àpótí mọ́là. Nothing where I no tell am. I've realized one thing in life.
Yeah.
And it is when people don't understand things,
Yeah.
they believe it is not possible.
And very true.
You also need to understand that in this current Nigeria, if you get, say, you just get 30 million for your account, then you really say how you take get them. Because
exactly.
the average person is walking home with 200,000 naira a month as salary.
Exactly.
How you take gather 30 million? So when they see you driving motor of 200 and something million, they'll just know say you be thief. Nobody say they go believe now. They'll just finish. Say you be thief. So we hate what we can't conquer.
Yes.
We fear what we don't understand.
Yes, we do.
That is human beings.
Yeah.
Now, I always say this all the time. Sometimes it's not because I'm not aware of the challenges of the people I bring to my life or their businesses and all. But just to detach myself, I always say, if you see somebody on my life, you do business at your own risk. You understand? Not because I don't believe that the person has integrity, but I know Nigeria. So me, I always come out myself, say, hey, you do it at your own risk. Don't call my name. Because I went to do interview for your real estate. Yes. Only for you to now talk, say they don't clear the whole front. Adam. Now, normal person will buy that your real estate go say, Stephen Akintayo, he duped me. Meanwhile, now government cut the land. Waiting one go beat government. So
they go flog.
They go flog being in Nigeria. And Nigeria is Ojeko. One of my friends, very close friend, I'm sure you know the person, but I'll not mention his name. Yeah. Bought a plot of land for $22 million in 2019. I think it was in Banana Island. I'm not sure. Okay. Now, I think $20 million then was about 7 million naira, 7 billion. Okay. 5 billion or something around that area, 5 point something billion. Yeah. Okay. Land don't appreciate. The land don't turn to like $30 million. Yeah. The guy say he cannot do business again. Say he wants to return 5 billion.
How?
Ah,
How? How?
no. But you see, let me tell you, if you go to court, they'll say, hey, he gave you 5 billion. He, ah,
How?
$20 million. Let's even say, okay, give him back his $20 million. $20 million in today's money is 30 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is Nigeria. And if he carries you to court, if you are not careful, he can still win. Then
It
here's the
can.
sweet part. He will tell you he give you that 500 million as he has power to. So every year he'll be giving you 200 million. Whoa.
I I think so. I think for me is what I thought. You know, I was asked this also on social on TV. Arise, I think they were asking me that with the current situation, do I say people should do business in Nigeria? My answer is still yes, because that the freeze. Yes, I lost 5 acre of that land. 500 million naira loss, right? But because that coastal road is now in front, if you come there now, we are now facing that coastal road. The value of that land has more than triple. Do you see the point
That
now? So
coastal road. Do you know from my house to the coastal road
yeah,
is
yeah,
5 minutes, 7 minutes walk?
yeah.
So you can imagine how I'm happy now as my
Ex-
property is
ex-
going up. I
exactly.
was
Because
telling some people there was one house I wanted to buy in my estate.
yeah.
The guy said at that time, he said 150 million.
Mm.
I know get 150 million cash, but I could raise like 120. I can't tell the guy to make you whole 120, so I'll go find the rest. The guy said, like, you say, make I bring the money cash. So he gave me like 2 weeks. I said, no, where I want to see the money. I said, I don't see the money. I can't call the guy, tell him, say, make he give me extension. No, say, no, they even sell again. Every day I'm crying that I did not have that
Yeah.
150 million. Now the house is 380 million.
Wow.
Because of the coastal road is there.
Wow. Wow.
I'm talking about 2 years ago.
Wow.
So
Wow.
at least now, if he call me, say, I call buy, it's okay, say, my guy, there's no way I will not drop 320, 330 million.
Yeah, because of relationship.
Because of relationship.
Mm.
So,
It,
so
it's tough. It's
you
tough.
win here, you
It's
lose here, you
tough.
win. So
Yeah.
what you do is you prepare from your
Is
wins, you prepare for your
exact.
losses.
Exactly.
And
One
that
of the
is where
wise.
mentorship comes
Thank
in.
you. That's where mentorship comes in. What we did, in fact, a lot of our competitors lost all their land. But what we did was, I think we had gotten the land when we started doing some research and discovered that coastal road we passed there. What we did was to buy more at the back. So yes,
Hmm.
we've lost some, but every single person who bought from us still has their land today. Every single person. But that's the benefit of mentorship. You
Hmm.
must have people. In fact, I look at it in business. If not for certain mentors, I
Hmm.
won't be here. Because even when it comes to land acquisition, thank God we have a chairman in charge of our land acquisition. He's a former IG of police. The way what Omunile will have shown us,
Hmm.
what Omunile will have shown us on acquisition of land, if not for some of our board of trustees and the quality. And that's what part of what I want to share with entrepreneurs. I don't care what, build a board. Nigeria mad. It's not for, you can't say you are doing business and you don't network upward, so that you have people who are able to really see ahead and support you and guide you and also speak on your behalf when there's a need for. Because the day they will be talking, you won't be in that room. But if you
Hmm.
have somebody high at the top in the room and say, no, I know that gentleman, I know that lady, I can vouch for what she's doing. There may be a challenge at the moment. It's going to be over soon. you know, you just will literally crumble. Gone. Gone. Right? Another quote I always say is that, two quotes. Number one, it is a crime to be small in Nigeria. It is a crime. It's a crime to be small in Nigeria.
It is a
To be
crime
small.
to be poor, not just small.
You are going to my last one. It is suicidal to be poor. Suicidal. You know, I lost my mother to ovarian cancer now. My mother was a civil servant, that if you hear this, and was going to civil service hospital. You know, we're talking of teaching hospital. For 6 months, they refused to diagnose what was wrong with her. 6 months. And the only reason she was going to a teaching hospital was because we were not rich. At some point, her tummy was like a 9-month pregnant woman. So, you know, our colleagues at work, everybody gathered money, took her to a private hospital. What teaching hospital could not do in 6 months, in 4 days, they diagnosed it was ovarian cancer and it has spread. My mother died 2 days after surgery. That was the last time I could pity poverty. That day, I vowed, if there's any legitimate way to be wealthy in this Nigeria, will be wealthy. And I don't care what anybody says, right? I don't care what, I will do whatever it is, because I cannot afford to lose another person, dear person to me, to because of. And you know what hurt me the most, that the freeze, the bill was 800 naira, 800 naira that we did not have, that made my mother to buy 800 naira, 800 Nigerian naira. So when I say it is suicidal to be poor in Nigeria, it's not a joke. It is suicidal. May you not lose a loved ones for you to understand it's real. So when people tell me stories, I like, look, I've passed that. I've been through, you know, a lot in my life. I've lost so much, and at this phase, and that's why I'm passionate about pulling as many people as I can, from our food program to our mentorship program, to our trainings that we do, you know, and to pull as many people as we can, because we rise by lifting others. Even my enemy, like some of the foolish ones commenting here, I don't wish them poverty. Even my enemy, right? Because it is suicidal to be poor in this part of the world. It's suicidal, right? So you have to figure out anything you can do legitimately to build wealth. And may you not lose a loved one to understand how powerful this is. Yeah.
I just they say my mind they go there. Fear they catch me. Brother. That guy, what is it called? That guy, he died because he didn't have 500K,
Exactly.
and he didn't have anybody he could call.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not that you don't
Is it
have
the guy or
500K.
his wife? I think it was
His
his
wife.
wife. His
Sometimes
wife,
it's
and I
not
think she
the
was
fact that you have
pregnant.
somebody you
So
can
not
call.
only did she die, the baby inside died as well.
Yes.
Yeah, pie as well. That's that. So when I say poverty is suicidal, it's not a joke. You have to. So when people chat me up, you know, I've met small entrepreneur. They'll say, you know, I don't want to be drag. I say, drag ni problem. Eh. My friend Lawan Kota, right? You know, hey, if I sell something, you know, I sell my wig and somebody wants refund, they start dragging me because of refund. Okay, go. You have bigger things chasing you. Bigger things chasing you. Bigger things chasing you as a Nigerian than somebody is nameless, you know, faceless people are dragging you on social media. You have bigger things to bother you.
Stephen,
So wake up.
sometimes it's not about having money.
Yeah.
sometimes is, you see, wealth. They say your network is your net worth.
Yes, absolutely.
God forbid, say I know you, Dr. Stephen, and I get the problem where I need 5 million. Now.
Very true.
Dr. Stephen, please, I need 5 million naira. Okay. When are you paying back? Dr. Stephen, you know you always come to my life. I will pay you back 2 million. Use the 3 million, take do credit. Dr. Stephen say, no, I don't need 3 million credit. Just give me 1.5 credits, pay back the rest cash.
Yeah.
We have worked out something. An emergency has been taken care of.
True.
I'll give you a story. My daughter, one of my daughters used to have a mole on her head. So she can't go uni. Walking inside the sun with the mole now started changing color and started looking funny.
Wow.
So she showed us her home. I was like, don't worry yourself. You know, it looked a bit funny, but I didn't want her to panic. So the mother was like, no, let's go and get a dermatologist. Now, so we go dermatologist. Dermatologist did removed the mole and sent it for analysis, biopsy. 2 weeks later, it came back melanoma, skin cancer.
Jesus.
Ha! So we started running around. What do we do? Went to the cancer center. Luckily for me, I know some of the top doctors there. So they just clear road for me. I was able to see. So they all consulted. We did another set of tests. So they said, okay, luckily it has not spread. Because we now had to do a test to see if the margins were clear. The margins came back not positive. Then we did a PET scan. The PET scan alone was like maybe 2 million naira.
Wow.
About $2,000 or $1,000 something dollars. Maybe now it'll be like 3 million. But that time was like, and there was only one center that was doing it. We did the PET scan. The PET scan came clear. But just in case, we still had to do incision around the whole place.
Wow.
So I was in the theater with my daughter. Baba, they won't go cut picking head. Come out the whole. If I show you the pictures, you fear will catch you. Wow. So I'm with my daughter in it and walking up and down. God, oh, help us. So what are we doing? My red sports car was on the way. I had paid everything 100%. What they needed to do was deliver it to my house. Once again, Nigeria happened. The car landed. They said they've changed their price. I'm now owing them $10,000 from nowhere. 10K. Let my no pay. So I sat down, and they said, if I don't pay it today, the car will not come out. And once that flashy car like that is at the port, all of them go begin to look at it. So I said, look, me, I will advise you find that money today. I just sat down, looked, I just pinned down 4 of my friends. I started calling them one by one. I say, you give me 6 million, you give me this, you give me that.
Yeah.
Within 2 hours, the money don't complete from my hand. Wow. I was able to send it. They were able to sort everything I needed out. So what am I trying to say? Is not the money.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the people.
Building the right relationship.
I say this to people all the time. You can, if you are coming from poverty, you cannot surround yourself with poverty, even if you are going up, because they will pull you down.
They will.
I'm not saying don't lift people up around you, but you've got to have those contacts. You've got to have somebody in police. You've got to have somebody in immigrations. You've just got to have somebody who can call somebody who can make something happen on your behalf.
I think that if we sometimes the challenge is Africans value money more than relationship, right? So
yes.
I I can, because of business went bad. I mean, just like the guy you talked about, $10,000 extra. You could solve that relationship, and it may be a relationship you need tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Because the reason he's charging the extra $10,000 may not be his fault as well. It may be customs that increase their bill.
Yeah. Oh no, the
Uh,
person has always been honest with me.
aha. Aha. But imagine you spoil your relationship with him. You say, I will destroy you, scammer. Hey.
Mm.
And that's what Nigerians need to learn. If you keep, I remember meeting a guy. 5 years ago, he came to our office.
Mm.
We had a training. After the training, he said he wanted to see me. So he came into my office and he went on his knees. I said, oh God, don't embarrass me. He said, sir, let me kneel down. I want to say I'm sorry. So I used to know you way back when you were doing bulk SMS. You built a bulk SMS website for me. The day the website was not working well, say I called you on phone. There's no name I didn't call you. 419, Steve, scammer. He said, if I had known it was a face in your business and that you were going to be this big, I would not have used those words. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said, Oga, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. I said, look, I'm not taking it personal. And I think I've seen so many people not understand that relationship is more than money. And you must value quality relationships.
Mm.
You must
Mm.
value building relationships. You must understand. And I tell, particularly if you're going to be an entrepreneur, respect quality relation. Intentionally build relationship. Up, down, middle, build relationship. You have no idea the day those relationships will work for you, right? And it's something we don't preach enough. It's something we don't talk enough. I have a quote that says that hard work will earn you a living, smart work will make you rich, but when you add network to it, you become wealthy. So um, hard work plus smart work plus network equals to wealth, equals to billions. That is really, really how you take things to the next level. You must
Mm.
add to your hard work, to your smart work, quality network. Because two poor people cannot help themselves. Okay? If you care about poor people, you have to become rich so that you can help them. You can help
Mm.
nobody being poor,
Tomorrow,
right?
Sarah, una go dey smell, give una self. I remember when I was younger, and me and my friend went to smoke cigar. So when we smoke cigar, we can't wash our face, wash our mouth, lick tom tom. Then the guy say, yeah, blow your mouth, make I smell whether it dey your mouth. I do ha. He say, I know they do. Yeah, make I blow my do ha. Now we dey waka go house with confidence. As we just jam myself for it's love a cigar. The two of us, because we dey smell, we no smell ourselves. Person where they outside. Don't look and say, I want that they smell like this. When I don't go smoke down a cigar again. Now say, yeah, how? That's how poverty is. When you are in it, you don't know you are in it.
you, you know, you know, you know, when I see people act in a certain way, I just tell people around me, I say, now poverty, go help them, send them some money. Some people behave in a certain way. You just know it's poverty.
Hmm.
And many people are not that wicked. They are not bad people. But poverty just makes you misbehave. It takes over your senses. It rob off your sense of reasoning, and it makes you dehumanize people, thinking you are dehumanizing them. But in reality, it's yourself that you don't have respect for.
Hmm.
I always say this to people. I said, when you see people just come after you, insult you, hate you, abuse you, you should pity them instead of hate them.
Hmm.
Because it's a reflection of how much hatred they have for themselves. You can't love yourself and just
Hmm.
hate people anyhow. and just call people words anyhow and just talk anyhow. You can. It's a function of how you see yourself, who you think you are, and that's what you then reflect on others. Right? That's
Hmm.
what you reflect on others. Who you think you are, how you see yourself, the value you place on yourself. But if you place premium on yourself, you will treat people with dignity, right?
Hmm.
And at least give them some respect.
Hmm.
Hello, yeah. Can you stay clean? Because I'm okay. So go ahead. Right.
Hmm.
So it's a
Now,
poverty is a may we not be poor. That's all I would just say.
but
And
Bangla,
if you are poor,
Granny
may you, yeah, go ahead. And if you're poor, may you invest in how to come out of it.
of
May
poverty.
you learn about investments. May you have the courage to read books, go for seminars, go for workshops like the one we're putting together. For those of
How
you, by
can
the way, how
people
many
be a
of you are
part of this
entrepreneurs?
workshop, Dr. Stephen?
Well, how many people are entrepreneurs here? If you're an entrepreneur, just type I'm an entrepreneur.
If you are
Um,
an entrepreneur, just type I'm an entrepreneur.
okay, so if they go to business growth conference.org, um,
Businessgrowthconference.org.
you can help me pin it. I think I guess they have done a coupon code. So we're doing a couple of
Okay, let me
things.
pin it.
We're doing a couple of things. I don't know how that the freeze will do it. Um, I want to give some people some tickets, free tickets. That's why we're saying if you're an entrepreneur type, I'm an entrepreneur.
Now, is
So,
this event, is it hybrid, or is it do you have to be there physically?
so yeah, is hybrid, but we've not started selling. We have a waiting list for those who want to attend virtually, so you can go on the portal
Hmm.
if you want to attend virtually. But we're focused more on those who are attending physically. So day one is in Abuja and Lagos. So Ladi Kwali or event is now called, I think it's now called Abuja Continental Hotel.
Hmm.
So that's the venue for Abuja on Saturday, 12th of April, while on Sunday by 2 p.m. to be virtual. So it's 2 days for Abuja. While for Lagos, it's Easter weekend, 19th at a hotel, 20th it will be virtual.
Hmm.
So but it's very intimate. We have a very great experience we're going to be having. So I think there's a code we're giving for Daddy Freeze. You just use, I think, the code Daddy Freeze.
FREEZE.
Yeah. So if you use the code Daddy Freeze, but I think it's 24 hours. The code will last. Farouk, can you confirm you have a code for Daddy Freeze? It is given the first 10 people. That code will give the first. So it's Daddy Freeze 75. That the free 75 is giving the first 10 people 75% discount. And then I'm giving that the freeze to pick 5 people for Lagos and 5 people for Abuja to get free tickets. But it has to be those coming physically, not virtual. But they must own a business. Um, they run a business and the business in Nigeria, right? Want to focus. They say charity begins at home. If I could start my business with 1,000 naira and we're in 4 continents today, I think I have 18 or 2 to share. And like I said, the beauty about my training is not aspire to perspire to acquire. Any general, there's no general without a scar. And the scar of the general is what gives them their stars, right? So I'm not just going to teach you 2 principles to kill it. There's nothing that people face in business I've not faced, right?
Hmm.
There's nothing. Okay. And if, despite all of that, we could grow to what we have today with over 300 full-time employees, over 15,000 independent salespeople working for us, property portfolio all over the world. I think anybody can really, really grow business. So I want to start with those at home, because like say charity begins at home. But if you are in Montreal, Canada, I'm going to be having a meet and greet this Saturday in Montreal, Canada, and you can be part of that event for those who are in diaspora. But if you're in diaspora, you can attend virtually. But the free tickets, I want that the frees to pick five people Abuja, five people Lagos, physical attendees who will get free tickets to the event. It promises to be a real life-changing journey. And like I said, don't tell me you're an entrepreneur if you have not told me your challenges. Myself and Dr. Cosmos were doing our IG live, and then this lady came and started crying how she's owing money, how she's embarrassed. So by the time Dr. Cosmos said, you know what, I've had bankruptcy before. She opened her mouth, eh? So I've owed landlord rent for my shop. I then hide. When the landlord was coming, I hid and I told my boy to tell the landlord I'm not around. So when and this is the bottom billionaire in dollar sharing the story. He said, so when the landlord came, the boy said, Oga no dey around. He said, hey, since your Oga no dey around, let's lock the shop. The la- As the landlord wanted to lock the shop, your customers came out and said, I'm sorry, Oga. He thought he would even pity him. They said, come out, Jerry, lock the shop. I said, when you have my money, I'll give you key. So many people admire us. They see who we are. They don't know we've been through hell. They think, there's just that mindset. Hey, he has it easy. Everything has worked for him. Don't mind them. And that's why when you just hate people for being wealthy, right? Because you don't know their stories, you don't know their struggle. You are just looking at them from outside. And then you are just judging. And yeah, don't mind him. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know
They
this.
are ritually.
You know what they used to call me when when I was in Dubai, I used to live in Burj Khalifa. Then I had a driver that picks me up every morning with Rolls Royce to my office, and I record myself. You know what they used to call me? Hush puppy. They just call me.
Ah!
In fact, one of my mentees said, one of his friends told him to his face, said, but boy, once she might be, or but the way they carry us puppy, na scam, na drugs, na money laundering. Some people are still surprised that nothing bad has happened to me in business today. Because, and I think those are the mindset we need to begin to wash. Not everybody that is successful in business is cutting corners. Not everybody. But if you're going to do business the right way, be ready to go through challenges. Be ready to have the days you won't be able to pay salary of your workers. So when people shout somebody has not paid salary, no entrepreneur is happy not to pay his workers. No entrepreneur is happy. There's no joy. There's nothing that gives you joy in owning your workers. Nothing gives you joy, right? No entrepreneur is happy to owe landlord and not pay rent. No entrepreneur is happy to declare bankruptcy, right? There's nothing fanciful. It's not something of pride. But in business, you go through tough times, but the solution is have mentors. Let people be able to nurse you. We always complain, you and I, about politicians, but they have mentorship. Even Natasha get mentor. Even
Ah, Baba
you,
mentor.
exactly, they have mentorship, right? All the boldness you are seeing, some people are telling her, we did behind you.
We
Forget
day
it.
behind
Nothing they happen.
you.
Nothing they happen for this Nigeria, right? The other sector is the one that the freeze always like to abuse. Pastors, right? What is the secret? Mentorship, right?
Hmm.
They
I
they
can't
are
even
all
lie about that one.
it's mentorship, right? It's mentorship. So it's only in business that the freeze. that people will say, hey, who mentor help? We are over-mentored, underfunded. My it's when you borrow money and you blow the entire money, you now know that mentorship is powerful. Right? You take a loan and the entire loan finish and you didn't make sales. That's when you know the power of mentorship.
You see, I tell people this all the time. It is better for you to be a salary earner than to run a business, unless you have the talent for business, unless you are ready to be mentored, and unless you are ready to go through the hassle. Just sit in your house and collect your salary. Go to work and collect your salary. Because let me break it down to you. They say MTN declared a loss of 500 million or 500 billion. Yet MTN CEO is the highest paid CEO in the country. Sometimes that salary work now ain't pay you.
Exactly.
Because the things you have to do to be successful in business, 99% are not ready to do the things.
They're not.
So how do we give out the tickets?
Can
so
you hear me
can
pin
win?
the latest one? I hope Farouk is there. Can you hear me pin the latest code?
That
So
is businessgrowthconference.org.
Yeah. And then they can use the
www.businessgrowthconference.org. www.businessgrowthconference.org.
Yep. Virtual is virtual. You'll be able to watch it from anywhere in the world. It's going to be on Zoom for those of you who are joining
Okay,
virtual.
so let's pick 5 people in Lagos and 5 people in Abuja who want to attend. Raise your hand if you are in Lagos. Let's start with Lagos. Raise your hands if you are in Lagos and you want to attend.
So they must send their full name, first and last name. For those you are picking, they send their business name, their phone number, and their email address so that our team, once you send it to Farouk, the team will just reach out to them. It seems to have more diasporans here. I'm seeing Dubai, I'm seeing US. Do we have Lagos here?
Lagos. Most
Maybe
of my
because it's
audience.
late. Because it's late.
Most of my audience is abroad anyway.
Ottawa,
but let us see.
Canada.
Ottawa, Canada. Okay, Lagos. We have a Lagos here. What business do you do? What's the nature of your business?
All the Lagos people state the nature of your business. Okay, we have a good number from Lagos actually. So, okay, all the Lagos people state the nature of your business.
Lagos people, oh yeah, oh.
We've gotten a lot of Lagos. You didn't see them?
I've been seeing them, but they need to send their number. Lagos people, oh yeah, oh. Someone say Lagos real estate. Oh, awesome. Now the kind of people we even find with this self. Lagos real estate. All right. So somebody asked, how are we going to call them back? Dr. Stephen. Farouk, are you helping us with that?
Is Farouk there? Okay, you know what? Send to my DM.
No, let's gather them here. They will not send though. They will forget. Always gather them once you are live like that. Let me just take picture and I'll send them to Farouk.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Nakama Technology. Okay, I've taken one number. Post your number so they can call you back. So we have one for Lagos. Let's try more. Let's try more. We only have one. Guys, my battery is going to die. We've been here for almost 2 hours now. Write your brand, but write a number they can contact you with. Post your number so that they can contact you. So yeah, post your number so they can contact you. He has to have, okay. Lagos State trucks. Okay, that's the number 2 now. Dr. Stephen, I've gotten number 2. Number 3, number 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a family member who is an entrepreneur, why
But
not?
they have
You
to be
can push them.
entrepreneurs. Let me send this to
They
Farouk.
have to be entrepreneurs.
One done. Number 2.
So can you mention their names so they know, those who are winners know themselves?
Sele, type your number again. I'm not sure we got a clear pick. We have Sele. Okay, I think it's clear enough. We have Recamstech Technologies. And we have Carl Global Travels. So we have 3 businesses actually.
Somebody wrote, he said, a rich wealth matter now everywhere dry. If not gossip, everywhere go
Everywhere go full.
Our people. Our people.
That's our work.
Nigerians love gossip die. We love gossip die.
Okay, Sele, yeah, I have your details. So we have only 3 people. Okay, I have another one here for Houghton Global. Let me see if I have that. Okay, yeah, Houghton Global Travels. Yeah, I have your number. Houghton Global, I have your number. Who else? Okay, Mighty M&W. So we have a 4th person now. One more person to go. He said he's into real estate. One more person to go.
By the way, the conference is for all entrepreneurs. It's not restricted to just real estate. Somebody was saying, can a copper, if the copper has a business, it's strictly a business growth
You'll be out of
conference. So it's for
place if you are not a business person.
yeah,
You'll be out of
yes, it's for those who own a business and are trying to scale
So
it.
one more business entrepreneur person, Lagos. One more person, and we know we're done. Okay, I think we close this. Nobody's interested in Lagos. Should we do Abuja?
Yes, Abuja, 5 people. Abuja.
5 people. Abuja. We're done with Lagos now. If you are in Abuja and you are interested in attending, okay, I have somebody. Glowed Awards on TikTok. Glowed Awards Lagos. So that's our final Lagos.
Good night.
So that's our final Lagos person. Now we have moved on to Abuja. Okay, so we have the final Lagos. Even if you're on TikTok, anywhere else that you are. Uh-huh. So Lagos don't complete. It remains Abuja now. Everybody don't run finish. They were even enjoying the gist. Nigeria, poverty na ain't go be una portion. No, I just see them now. I just confirm them. The poverty gone una. No.
No. That's why we love soap opera a lot. We love drama.
We love whatever will mess with us. Whether it rewards us or not, it's not the problem. No, I can't believe this. So at least we have 5 people for Lagos. That means I don't have any listeners from Abuja. Abuja people.
But it's a few billionaires for a reason. Abio, you know, you get reason why.
Now free, so just for you to go and learn.
You get reason why. People.
No, if my wife should tell you her own experience, you'll be afraid. Their own is to come and beg.
Yeah.
Now that one they find.
If I was just our management consultant was just telling me of a client, you know, just this person is based abroad, a food business, so that the freeze you will not believe it. Business that is less than 2 weeks old, but the day they launched, they had over 800 orders. You will not believe it. In 2 weeks, 10 POS machine, fake, where staff go to. They use still 2 weeks old business. As they open the restaurant where they see crowd, the following day, staff go get their own POS. So when people they order for food, the money they enter the staff account, not the company.
And they don't catch them.
No, they just catch them and make us know now. But it's a 2 weeks business, you know. It's just painful. It's a 2 weeks business.
Now so
2 weeks
Nigeria be Dr. Stephen.
business. 2 weeks old business. I don't know. Our people mindset has to be. I don't know. Our people's mindset. No.
No. Dr. Stephen, nah. It's a terrible thing, but we don't agree.
We don't. We think everybody's the problem, but we are our
Abroadarians
problem.
want to be picked. See, people abroad are even still more reasonable.
But they have seen life now. Those abroad are the real Nigerians. They don't see life. If you can reverse Nigeria, right? Bring those abroad back home and take those home back. Nigeria will be better.
100%.
Quote me anywhere. Nigeria will be better. Right? Because those abroad have learned the principle of hard work. They've seen how modern society works. They understand what you need to do. You know, they believe in merit, hard work, patience, you know, culture and all of that. And many have gone through hell as well. Many are suffering from mental health. And that's why I want to beg our people in diaspora, please check your health and, you know, work on your mental health. I'm seeing so many scary stories. You know, sometimes you just see somebody abroad just come on social media shouting, crying. Now bipolar, they worry him. No,
Oh, no,
right?
no.
And then you think he's making sense, and everybody is also pitying the person. I once had an experience of a customer like that. You know, I just noticed some sense of obsession. You know, and she's way older. I mean, she was in her 50s. You know, and she just, how are you? So one day she would just call me. Somebody has died. I said, me, I don't like stories around dead people. Because like two days back to back, she's always telling me somebody
Somebody
died.
cried.
I said, yeah, somebody died. I said, Madam, me, I don't like all these pie stories. I'm not just. I said, look, if it's because you did business, I think it was 10 million. Because you did business of 10 million, we will refund your money. You know, I said, call the office, so email. I didn't know I opened Kanka one. Oh. This woman started. There's nobody she didn't call. There's nowhere she did it. My name everywhere. So one person there called in the course of the matter. I think that person was close to her. And he's a nurse. I said, are you sure this person doesn't have mental health? Do you know that was the end of the case?
Hmm.
Both the person and everybody disappeared. They stopped calling me. So apparently, she has a mental health issue, and it's just an episode, right, where maybe she's seen dead people and all of those things. So please, I'm begging, our culture is very social. So when people go to diaspora, they then live this antisocial lifestyle, and it has affected many of them mentally, right?
Hmm.
That and most of us are not conscious of it. Even in marriage, I say battle with a friend of mine. He sent his wife to come and study abroad. Before she's been misbehaving. I told her, I said, are you sure this is not a mental health issue your wife is going through? He said, no, it's the devil, it's village people, it's spiritual, it's clinical. I said, look.
Nigerians and their devil.
I said, I think this woman, because you left her, she had to do a PhD for 6 years. She's gotten used to staying alone. This could have affected her mentally, So,
Hmm.
so please, for all of you in diaspora, please work on your mental health. I know there's so much gossip that goes on with our people, but build friendship, do exercise, have your own caucus of friends, you work with, right? Don't be in isolation. Our people are going through a lot, and it's affecting the behavior. Sometimes you see somebody come with a fake account and start commenting on your post. Not all of them are normal human beings.
No be
Something is wrong.
everybody they okay. Oh. No be everybody
Something is
wait
wrong.
they UK they okay. Oh.
Something is wrong with some of them.
Ah.
That's why sometimes I just ignore some people, because the more you pay them attention, the more their muscle. If someone has bipolar, for example, that's the symptom. If you pay attention to the person, right, the person gets more agitated, goes over it again and begin to go again. And so many of these people who just do cho. Now, mental health, I'm telling you the facts. Huh?
Hmm. Hmm. Guys, so it's been Dr. Stephen with me live. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. I truly appreciate you. If you're interested in the conference, it's www.businessgrowthconference.org. www.businessgrowthconference.org.
I want to also advise that after this, if you're watching a replay of this, we have already picked those who are giving free tickets. So don't come and chat and say you want
We
free
have
tickets.
already picked, we have
We've
picked our
already
free ticket
picked.
people.
Yeah.
Now we're
Also, the
looking
75.
for those who we pay.
Yeah, the 75 25% discount also will end by close of work tomorrow. So don't call us on Monday and say, well, you promised under the free show, you people don't keep to your word, because I know our people that the freeze. It's good to always do disclaimer, you know.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, is
It's beyond
so
good, Dr. Stephen. It is paramount
yeah,
to do
it's
disclaimer.
important.
Paramount, important.
So is a 24 hours discount. If you are able to go to the website, use that coupon code, it will give you. And today is Wednesday, April 2nd. It ends this same time, April 3rd. April 3rd. So after that, like I said, this is an event that for each location, we're spending almost 200 million naira for each location. We have 20 billboards already that is
Mm.
free for this event. We've never advertised an event this big, but I'm worried that if you continue like this, that the freeze, where we don't produce enough business people, enough
Mm.
entrepreneur, Nigeria will keep sinking, right? I made a major comment. Why are businesses doing better in developed worlds like America? The
Mm.
system supports entrepreneurship. The system
Mm.
wants you to be an entrepreneur. If you look at 100 richest people in the world, 50 of them live in America.
Mm.
And Elon and what's his name? Donald Trump is forcing more rich people to come to America,
Mm.
right? With all his, policies and all of that. That's why they are the richest country in the world. If Nigeria will get better, we must produce entrepreneurs. We must protect entrepreneurs. We must come up with a structure that is free, that
Mm.
help entrepreneurs to thrive. I bought land from you, or I came on your show. I did not like one thing or the other. Does not mean I should use EFCC to start pursuing that they freeze to give me refund because I came.
Mm.
We must stop this nonsense if we want businesses to grow, right? There are so many nonsense we are doing, and it's affecting growth of businesses,
Mm.
right? And for example, somebody thinks he's coming after me now. I'm not one man. I'm an institution. With all due respect, if you
Mm.
want to bring down GTEx, you are taking job from over 300 people. You are taking job from different vendors, contractors, partners. It's not a
Mm.
one-man business anymore. So your mind is Stephen Akintayo, I'm attacking. You are not attacking Stephen Akintayo. You are attacking
The
different people,
livelihoods.
the livelihood of different people, that benefits from the system. I will wrap up with this story. I met a billionaire who was cheated. He founded a particular bank. And when he had crisis, the bank pushed him out and sold all the shares and
Now
took
their
over,
work.
yeah.
Sometimes,
And
small time now, they go come by inside the aeroplane. I know people talk past
well,
my mouth. I quiet.
that the freeze, my hand no
But you
day.
know that I don't
Right.
know, so I'm just keeping
You know,
quiet.
my hand no day. But
My hand, dey.
this particular billionaire, I then told him, I said, why didn't you go after this bank when they did this thing to you? You know what he said to me? Very good man. He said, I once had similar issue with a bank where me and one of the shareholder had fight. So I told the share, I said, buy me out. And or I buy you out. And the person turned it to fight. He said, both of us entered the board meeting, right? I sacked the MD. He said, at the end of the day, CBN fired all of us. Okay.
Mm.
CBN fired all of us. And then guess what? The bank collapsed. He
Mm.
said, so as at the time this happened with this bank, there were 3,000 employees. And I said to
Mm.
myself, if I do the same thing, this bank can collapse. He said,
Mm.
I will leave them till I'm 70. By
Mm.
70, if they don't resolve what they did, I will fight. He said, at this point, they are big enough that I can get my rights and the bank will not collapse and people will not lose their job. Right?
Mm.
So we must understand, and it's very important. Nigerians need to know
It's
this.
imperative.
Yes, that when you come after certain people, you're not coming after them. God forbid, if GTS collapse today, I swear to God, I can never be poor again. That era is gone. It will not happen. We've passed that level. All
Mm.
this hard work we do is not for money anymore. It's for love, it's for passion, it's that we are not lazy people. If only from my books alone and coaching, people have no idea how much I make from books and coaching and public speaking. They have no idea. I reject public speaking engagements all over the world, right? So even that alone is enough to feed me and my generation. So we do business because we understand there are livelihood of people. Yesterday was Ilea. Some about 100 of our employees were still on one of our sites, doing allocation on a public holiday. You can't see that level of passion. And then you will just say, well, send you. I know. There are people involved here. Their children are going to school. They have house rent to pay. There's so much involved. And we must get businesses back. We must encourage entrepreneurship, else we'll encourage corrupt politicians. We'll continue to encourage everybody to keep stealing the public money. But when we make entrepreneurship glamorous and more
Mm.
people know that, let me go start my business, make my money, we'll be happy. I sometimes laugh when I see all this amount. They say this person stole 500 million. This one now money wey one company they spend for 1 week, some company for 1 day, where
Mm.
you go give approval for 1 week for. Right? So I laugh sometimes when people say join politics. I say, what's the need for me? Right? I can't, I don't, even if now 1 billion you they call, I will make more than that in my business. Right? Not
Mm.
even me that I do business globally.
Mm.
So let's encourage entrepreneurship. Let's support entrepreneurship. Let's encourage Nigerian businesses.
Mm.
And thank you once again for having me. God bless you
Thank you,
all.
Dr. Stephen. God bless you too. It was an awesome session and we all learned a lot. Do take care and have a fabulous evening.